The technical origin of the vertical takeoff and landing (VTOL) aircraft can be traced back to the World War II period. Although it was still in the stage of technical exploration at that time, it had proved that this concept had its practical significance. By the early 1960s, the Soviet Yakovlev Design Bureau also began to develop VTOL aircraft with the support of new technology. The Yak-38, which entered service in the 1970s, was the result of this effort. However, before the Yak-38, there was another technology demonstrator, the Yak-36. The Yak-36 was purely a technical demonstrator. Although it could be equipped with weapons, its weak armament was actually not sufficient to support combat. The Soviet Union built a total of 4 Yak-36 prototypes, each with different roles and performance. The first one was used for static testing, the second one was used for flight testing such as takeoff, landing, and hovering, and the third and fourth ones had improved autopilots, making them more technologically mature. The Yak-36 is a semi-hard-shell, mid-wing, single-seat, twin-engine aircraft. It uses 2 R-27-300 jet engines with no afterburners, each with an output of about 51.9 kN. The engines are installed at the front with air intakes in the nose, and the thrust direction can be adjusted by rotating the exhaust nozzles. The aircraft has a short triangular wing with a leading-edge sweep of 37 degrees and a 5-degree enhedral angle on the lower surface of the wing. Although this swept wing is advantageous for high-speed flight, the maximum speed of the Yak-36 is only 900 kilometers per hour, and it does not have supersonic flight capability. The tail section is tilted backward, with a horizontal tail with a large sweep angle mounted near the top of the vertical tail. The engine, fuel tanks, and cockpit are placed as close as possible to the center of gravity of the aircraft. The landing gear is of the tricycle type, with an additional set of support wheels installed under the tips of the wings. During conventional flight, the pilot adjusts the aircraft's attitude using control surfaces. However, in VTOL mode, when the speed is insufficient, the control surfaces lose their effectiveness, and a separate control system is needed. Airflow from the engines is blown out through extended arms above the air intakes and at the ends of the wings and rear of the fuselage, and adjusting the airflow can achieve the corresponding attitude adjustments. The Yak-36 is equipped with a 23mm GSH-23L cannon and has a mounting point under each wing for attaching lightweight bombs, machine gun pods, and rocket pods. Its combat capabilities are even inferior to some trainer aircraft, but this is not important, as the Yak-36 is not a combat model. The designers also encountered another major problem, which was the need to ensure the safety of test pilots. Because VTOL aircraft rely entirely on the brute force of the engines to lift the aircraft, any malfunction would result in a direct crash to the ground, leaving the test pilot with little chance of survival. Test pilots themselves are valuable assets to the military, and the value of an outstanding test pilot cannot be measured in terms of money. To address this, the Design Bureau specifically developed the KYA-1 ejection seat with zero-zero capability. The Yak-36 encountered many problems in its early tests. For example, the aircraft could not take off vertically because the high-temperature gas ejected by the engines would spread out under the fuselage, creating a low-pressure area that would prevent the aircraft from ascending. It was also very unstable, and the high-temperature gas would be re-ingested by the engines, reducing their power and causing an 800-pound thrust reduction at a height of 1.5 meters. These issues were more or less addressed in subsequent modifications, making the Yak-36 the Soviet Union's first VTOL aircraft with reliable flight capabilities. In 1966, the Yak-36 performed a flight demonstration for officials, and the following year, it demonstrated aerial hovering, hover-to-level flight, and body rotation at an air show. At that time, NATO was astonished by the aircraft's agility, and it was dubbed Freehand, which was a more polite name compared to the condescending nicknames like Snail. The last 2 Yak-36 prototypes were damaged during testing, but Soviet designers gained a wealth of technical knowledge from them, laying the technological foundation for the appearance of the Yak-38. The Yak-36 VTOL aircraft has an empty weight of 5,300 kilograms, a maximum takeoff weight of 8,900 kilograms, a length of 17 meters, a height of 4.5 meters, a wingspan of 10 meters, a maximum speed of 900 kilometers per hour, a maximum altitude of 12,000 meters, and a maximum range of 370 kilometers.